Hi, I'm Tim from Woodland Brew Company, and today I'm going to show you how to make some Paleo iced coffee. Now, as the kettle gets going, I'm going to kind of go over why it's Paleo, all depending on what you follow. A lot of times folks don't consider coffee to be Paleo, so you don't even drink coffee. Otherwise, depending on how strict you are, we're going to be using maple syrup, and we're going to be using a non-dairy, non-soy, gluten-free creamer. It's made by Ripple. My wife and I have tried a bunch of different types of creamers. We've tried different, almond, we've tried cashew, we've tried, so many other types, and they just don't taste very good, but we're really stoked on the Ripple. Tastes really good with the coffee. Doesn't have too much of a taste to it. It's a little nutty, but it kind of complements the coffee, so it works really well. So as this gets heated, we're gonna take the AeroPress. Now, this is the standard attachment on the AeroPress, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off, and we're gonna swap this out with the Fellow Prismo. So this little attachment's really rad. It has a screen that pops out. You just rinse it. You don't have to have the paper filters that the AeroPress requires you to have. So you don't have to worry about that. You just rinse this off and you're good to go. It does help if you prime this a little bit. So if you get a little bit of water, you can kind of prime that down before you attach it to the bottom of your AeroPress. A lot of people complain that you can't get it in because of the it just doesn't fit. It's kind of like changing, doing an oil change. You have to prime it a little bit. It makes the seal kind of just seal up a little. It's nice and snug, but it also gives you a little bit of lubrication to get it set. So with that, I have a glass of ice, which you're gonna need. You're gonna need probably about almost a tray of ice, depending on how hot your water is and how much volume you have. So fill up your cup of ice. We have some elevation gain espresso blend. Now this is all depending on how strong you like your coffee. I generally like to fill the AeroPress up to just below the number 1 line. So I just kind of fill that up. I'm not messing with scoops. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just kind of going by eyesight. Take a look. I can go a little more. I'm gonna go a little more. Even that out. Yep, just about number 1. So as the kettle finishes up, I don't like to use boiling water. I usually give the kettle a few seconds to cool down after it finishes the cycle. And then also, when you're filling up your glass, you want to make sure that you have enough space to set your AeroPress in the glass, so that way it's not crushing your ice. If you have some extra cubes in here, if you fill it all the way up, you're not going to be able to set the press down into the glass. You want to be able to set it down so you get it nice and flush on the rim of the glass, so that way it's nice and stable. And with a taller glass, especially like I'm using with a pint glass with the taper, it makes it a little difficult because of the height and the pressure. So just be really mindful that you're putting consistent direct pressure down on the glass, because if you don't, it's possible the glass will tip over and you don't want to get coffee all over yourself, all over your stuff, and plus you just don't want to waste the coffee. One of the things that I really love about the Fellow Prismo is that you eliminate the need for the paper filters. All you have to do is rinse the metal screen that's in it, and it makes it super easy. And it makes it like you're just pulling a shot of espresso. So you'll see as the coffee goes down, it's gonna carve like a little channel down in the ice cubes, which is why you're gonna need a lot of ice. In any case, these are the Prismo is a really fantastic investment. You don't have to worry about buying filters, carrying filters, and you don't have to worry about all the waste. So the kettle just finished up. Like I said, I don't like boiling water, but just let it sit for a little bit, kind of cool down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill the AeroPress up to about the number 4. I go maybe just below it. I still want enough room for my plunger to fit in. So I'm gonna do that right now. And another great thing about the Prismo is that unlike the AeroPress standard, it doesn't drip into the cup. With the standard filter on the AeroPress, it will start to drip through the filter as soon as you pour the water in. With the Prismo, there's a valve that only opens with a certain amount of pressure. So now it's just gonna sit in here and it's gonna brew. So depending on how strong you want it, you can adjust the volume of the coffee, the volume of the water, or the brew time. So I'm just taking this up, and you can feel when you put a spoon in, I'm just gonna stir it a little bit. You can feel that all of the coffee like kind of sits at the bottom, so you want to really stir it and then get all those little clumps out of there. Now if you want, you can let it brew. I usually just go straight for the plunge. I'm just gonna put this in here. I'm just gonna start, and you're gonna see just instantly, not a ton of pressure is needed. So we're just gonna press this down. And the closer you get to the bottom, the more challenging it's going to get to press. So you might need to kind of contort yourself to get the leverage that you need. And when you're pressing, make sure you go all the way down. You want to go all the way down because what it's going to do is it's going to condense those grounds and it's going to create a really nice little puck, and it makes it super easy to clean up. You can hear all the air escaping right now. Okay. All right, so AeroPress. And another thing about the Prismo is it's super clean. It doesn't have like all the drip and the mess that the standard filter cover has. So with that, you're just gonna see there's a little bit of coffee, but otherwise it's really clean. So now I'm gonna take my Ripple creamer, put that in here, and take maple syrup, put that in. And give it a stir. So you might want to, if you want to adjust the volume of your water, they'll allow you a little more room to kind of get some more ice cubes in there. But in my case, I'm just going to drink it down a little bit. That's good and strong. Just take a couple more ice cubes that I've got here in my Traverse City Whiskey Company cup. Our friends in the north, they make phenomenal liquor. And there it is. So as I was saying about the AeroPress and the cleanup, it's really rad because you can just take this off, just unscrew that, pop this off. And this is kind of a rough grind actually. So when you push the plunger all the way up, I'm trying to do this carefully so that we don't make a huge mess. You're going to push that up, and you're going to have a really nice little puck. And generally, depending on how fine the coffee is, if you have an espresso blend, you can just take that puck right off like I did, and you can just dispose of it however you choose. So for a lot of van lifers, it's a really good option. It's super easy, it's super compact, super easy to clean up. For backpackers, it's great. That way you can just simply push that puck into a bag and hike it out. So there's a lot of versatility with the AeroPress, and especially with the Fellow Prismo. It's getting to be summertime, just past Memorial Day, and we spent the day remembering those who gave their lives for our country and our freedoms. And to them and their loved ones, we thank you. And it's getting warm, so what a great way to cool down in the summer is to have a nice cup of iced coffee. And this way you don't have to wait for coffee to cool down. You don't have to wait for a cold brew. This way it's super fast. You can make one cup. You can really increase it. You can make this stuff super strong in the AeroPress and then make multiple cups. We really found that we like this. My wife and I really like this method. It's consistent. The quality is fantastic. We love the taste. It's repeatable, and we can take it. It's our favorite travel kit. So if you're going on the road, you're going on a road trip, you're staying in hotels, and you have access to ice or an ice machine, this is a perfect way to do that, because instead of using a pint glass, you can use your travel mug, you can use glasses at the hotel if you wanted to. So it's a really versatile setup for making your coffee. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. If you found anything useful, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, like us, follow us on Instagram at Woodland Brew Co. You might even see this on Instagram. I hope you do. If you have any questions for us, please leave a comment. Send us an email, info@woodlandbrewco.com. I will leave links down below for all of the stuff that we use, including this extra delicious coffee. Can't wait to see you again next time. See you guys on the trail.